Okay, everyone, we're about to start. Please be sure to silence your phones. Okay, graduates, you may be seated. Good morning, everyone. Because of the pandemic, it's been 2 years since we've been able to hold this celebratory event. And as I look out on all your proud, smiling faces, it just reminds me of your perseverance and resilience. You made it so that we could celebrate your accomplishment today. On behalf of Avalon University School of Medicine, I would like to welcome you to the 2022 commencement ceremony. At this time, it would be appropriate if everyone would silence their electronic devices. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come together today to celebrate the achievements of a group of impressive individuals who will be receiving their Doctor of Medicine degrees. I know that you graduates think this day is only about you, but please realize that some important team players have helped you to get to where you are today. That's you, family members and friends. You also deserve some recognition. These graduates are important to you in your life, and I know that you're justifiably proud of their achievements. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, your Avalon University Medicine's graduating class 2022. So this is always an exciting day for all of our graduates, family, guests, and Avalon administration and faculty. My name is Michelle Smith. I'm the Executive Administrator and Registrar at Avalon University. Today, I'll be your MC. Graduates, this is your day, your stage, and a testament to your timeless determination over the past 4 years. This day marks a wonderful milestone, not only in your lives, but also for Avalon University, and we all couldn't be more proud of you. You are about to embark upon an exciting, life-altering experience, one you'll never forget. You're about to join an elite group of people who will now be your peers going forward. Our next speaker this morning is Dr. Samir Fateh. Like you, he too was once a medical student. He went through the rigor of medical school as you did, and he knows all too well some of the challenges that you students had to face. To that fact, Dr. Samir Fateh has served as a source of guidance and support to many of the students over the years, as well as an advocate. I am proud to introduce Dr. Samir Fateh, President of Avalon University.
Thank you very much, Michelle, for the kind words. And welcome, everyone, to Avalon University School of Medicine's graduation ceremonies. I would like to say that this is by far one of the best days of the year for us, and it makes me proud to stand in front of all of our graduates this afternoon. It has been nearly 3 years since our last graduation, and all of us at Avalon are thankful and excited to have this opportunity. I would like to thank Avalon University's Board of Trustees, deans, faculty members, chairmen, and all members of the US and Curacao administration, and everyone that's associated with Avalon University for being here on this special day. Graduates, the day has finally come. All of you should be very proud of yourselves for what you have accomplished. All of us at Avalon cannot be any happier for you, especially for being part of your journey through medical school and watching all of you grow into fine young professionals. The hard work does not end today, and as a physician, the hard work and your continual development of becoming the best doctor that you could be will be for a lifetime. But for one day, let's not think about countless hours you have sacrificed to get to this point, and be proud of yourselves for what you have accomplished. Enjoy this moment and feel the positive significance of today, because it is the great memories that will last a lifetime. As you embark into the real world, never forget the journey you have taken to get to this point. I'm very certain that there were many periods during medical school where it was not easy, and there have been thoughts and questions of, is this really something I want to do? But through your dedication and commitment, and even more, your passion for medicine, you made it to the finish line. So always be thankful to the people that have helped you get to this point. Whether it was a faculty member, preceptor, librarian, next-door neighbor, or whomever said words of encouragement and motivation that fuel your drive, or said something to inspire you, or was just there for you in support, always be thankful and grateful to those who showed care for you along your journey. Avalon's core values are education, empathy, integrity, respect, and commitment. As medical doctors, graduates, please continue to exhibit and hold these values as you enter the real world. As our mission statement states, it is now your duty to serve communities locally and around the world and to be committed to patient safety and public health while maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and ethical behavior required for medical practice. Please do not ever lose sight of your obligations of being a doctor, while carrying yourself with the strength of character that will shine through your patients and to the people that you come across in the world. Today is not only a great accomplishment for you graduates, it is a day in which your family members, relatives, friends, and all of us at Avalon are showing great joy and happiness. You have demonstrated grace, dignity, and perseverance. You have put in the blood, sweat, and tears required, and now you stand ready to receive your medical degree. Be proud of what you have accomplished and continue to be dedicated to becoming the best physician you can be and an even better human being. I would like to end my speech with a quote from Sheryl Sandberg that reads, "Remember this, you are awesome. I'm not suggesting to be boastful. No one likes that in men or women. But I'm suggesting that you believing in yourself is the first necessary step in coming even closer to achieving your potential. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class."
Thank you, Dr. Samir. To deliver today's opening remarks is Dr. Shaukat Fateh, Chancellor of Avalon University. For Dr. Fateh, this annual event represents the culmination of his vision. Part of his vision is that students of Avalon are family. Part of his welcome to new students is this: you will be accepted with open arms. We embrace you for all that makes you special. Then we push you to become so much more. Your awesome family cheers you on to ever greater accomplishments, and no one will be cheering louder than me as you pursue your purpose in life. I can say I'm proud to be part of the awesome family. It's my honor to introduce our Chancellor, Dr. Shaukat Fateh.
Thank you, Michelle, for a very kind introduction. I'll take it, whether I deserve it or not. But next time, next year, put me first, because I don't want to follow his awesome speech. Congratulations, all of you. I think it's a very proud day for you, and it's good to be back here after a break of, 3 years? So you are in the COVID period, and we missed quite a few of you, and I hope some of you made it from the last 2 years. But it's fantastic. There is nothing like having a conclusion from white coat ceremony, wherever you had it a few years back, to the graduation, and see you all grow up and be here as a proud family of Avalon. I'm very proud of what you have accomplished, and it's your day. But at the same time, I think I would like to mention a few things of what we have done in the meantime. And I think we have done quite a few things which you'll be very proud of. We have 2 accreditations. We require only 1. And we have moved into a fantastic new campus. I don't think many of you would have been able to visit it, but please go and see it. It's a thing of beauty. You'll like it. So please make it a point to go back to Curacao as a visitor and see it in a relaxed environment. You are there studying, and you are all tense and doing all kinds of things to pass your examinations, but now is the time to go back. And you can give a couple of lectures of your experiences and stuff like that. But make no mistake about it, today is your day. What you have done is tremendous. I think the degree, no matter what you do with it, you may treat patients, you may research, you may do even completely out of medicine, do something else. But the work you put in, the effort you had will come in handy, no matter what you do, because I know it requires effort to be a doctor. And that is the thing you will carry all the time. But remember another thing, and that is that this is just the beginning. I know you have accomplished a lot, but there is a lot more to be achieved. And don't be complacent. Don't take a break. I think that there is a saying where it says that once you know that you have learned everything in your life, it is a time to retire, because it never happens. As a physician, I retired in 2013, and I'm still learning new things every day. And you have seen accomplished physicians here, and also in your life somewhere, where they work hard, they do a lot of things, but they keep up with what's going on. And that's your job. I think we have done our part. We will do our part as far as the residencies and stuff is concerned, but take this message with you, that you are just beginning in your life to do something better, something more, and more important. Besides that, I think Michelle, am I missing anything? This is our joke between Michelle and I. She has this speech, and I never follow it, so this always goes that way. But I think I did everything. It's a tradition of Avalon. I don't think you will see it in any other medical school, but I introduce the entire staff, because many of you probably don't see them on a daily basis. And when I mention the names, please get up and be acknowledged. I start with Dr. Augustine Wong. Dr. Jonathan Jarvina. Dr. Vijay Patel. Mr. Dilu Dinani. Dr. Ahmad Kiyami. How come I didn't have cheers like that? I'm missing a good friend of mine, the Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Alan Kopp. He couldn't make it. So, Dr. Lakhani, he is a Board of Trustee. Dr. John Thalstein, another Board of Trustee. Mr. Rich Limongji, another Board of Trustee. Dr. Lenny Wilson. Here is another popular guy. Dr. Abdul Ghani. Now I'm jealous. Dr. Shakir Hussain. Dr. David Stewart. I give up. Now, the biggest cheer should be for the next one, because she's my wife, Rehana. Dr. Samir and Kunzul and family. A couple who is not here, my daughter, my son-in-law, and her 4 kids, Yasser, Rubina, and family. Wherever you are, I mention your name, remember that. Another couple, which is the backbone of Avalon in Curacao, Dr. Arja and Dr. Bala. Dr. and Dr. Nasir and Shaista Khan. And last but not the least, the Ohio staff. Please cheer for them. Michelle, Tom, Hannah, Sarah, Jackie, Melissa, and Tara. Am I forgetting anything? Joyce. Thank you very much. And again, remember, it's your day. Enjoy it. Have fun. But tomorrow is another day. Start working hard. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Fateh, for your kind words of encouragement. Next, I would like to take a moment to introduce our keynote speaker for the 2022 commencement. Avalon University School of Medicine is proud to introduce Dr. Augustine Wong as the keynote speaker for the 2022 commencement. Many of you graduates may know Dr. Wong, obviously by the cheers that you gave. He currently serves Avalon as our chairman of family medicine. Dr. Wong has engaged in teaching throughout his entire career. He started from scratch a family practice residency in one of the most impoverished areas in Chicago, directing it now for more than a decade. Here to impart his knowledge and wisdom to our graduates on this momentous occasion, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Augustine Wong.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Smith, for the very kind introduction. Last night, as I was practicing my speech, Eliza, my wife, asked me, "Augie, I saw you redrafting and rehearsing the speech over and over again in the past 5 days. For our wedding, you drafted the speech only a few hours before the ceremony. I'm really jealous." My explanation to her was that it was really an honor to have been invited by Avalon to be the keynote speaker at one of the graduation ceremonies, and that I wanted to do a perfect job. But the explanation did not seem to wash. I guess perhaps punishment is awaiting me tonight when I return to Chicago. Although I report to Dr. Wilson, I think both Dr. Wilson and I know very well that we both report to our wives. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. When I was asked a couple of months ago by Dr. Fateh to speak at the graduation ceremony today, I was, of course, flattered, but also humbled. Not blessed with the same eloquence possessed by many of my colleagues, I felt at a loss as to what I was going to say today. Of course, whenever that happened to me, I decided to turn to the basics. I read the mission statement of Avalon University School of Medicine. It states, "The mission of Avalon University School of Medicine is to prepare competent physicians who can serve communities locally and around the world. Avalon graduates are committed to patient safety and public health while maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and ethical behavior required for medical practice." One thing that strikes me about this statement is the absence of the words medical sciences. I was actually thoroughly impressed by that. Why are you impressed, Dr. Wong? Isn't medicine a science? During my medical schooling in Calgary, we had to complete an integrative course at the end of our second year before we were allowed to run amok on the hospital wards as third-year clinical clerks. At that time, we called ourselves clinical jerks. This 4-week course was run in small group format with a preceptor leading 6 students in each group. In one of these small group sessions, our preceptor, Dr. Anthony Fisher, an Englishman, suddenly remarked, "You kids think medicine is a science? Let me tell you, it's an art. Once you start practicing, you will find out that you have to invoke science no more than 20% of the times." My reaction to his remark, though not an expletive, is not something I would like to repeat in this very elegant ceremony. Yet I was not outspoken enough to vocalize it in front of everybody. However, as soon as I started practicing, I realized Dr. Fisher was so right. Science, as defined by Oxford English Dictionary, is knowledge about the structure and behavior of the natural and physical world based on facts that you can prove, for example, by experiments. It is supposed to be precise, predictive of outcomes based on principles and rules. It is unbiased and truthful. Most of us like to think of medicine and science as totally inseparable, going back to time immemorial. Today, Western allopathic medicine has become the legitimized social institution charged with the dominant role in the provision of healthcare at the expense of folk medicine as practiced by witches and priests in some tribal societies. But our social and political success obviates the non-scientific and humble origins of our profession, or more precisely, our trade. As craftsmen, selling our prognostic, not therapeutic skills, in marketplaces in ancient Greece, and as barbers performing amputations in the Middle Ages with neither anesthesia nor sufficient knowledge in anatomy. Frederick the Great of Prussia, the greatest military thinker of the 18th century, even used his executioners to double as military surgeons. And in the British Army, medical officers were not given full officer ranks until the late 19th century because the bearer of the King's Commission had to be a gentleman. And most of the rumble-tumble surgeons at that time that made up the medical officer corps of the British Army were just not gentlemen. In fact, it was no coincidence that the medical profession began to put on the scientific facade only in late 19th century, when doctors began to emulate the non-clinician laboratory technicians and scientists by donning the white coat. During my surgery rotation in Calgary, the head of the surgery department one day began a lecture on aseptic and antiseptic techniques by commenting on how the operating theater nurses, always eager to pick on medical students for not scrubbing properly or long enough. Does it really matter whether you scrub for 2 minutes or 3, he asked. After all, the whole scrubbing and gowning procedure is but a ritual. The operating table is the altar, the patient the sacrifice, the surgeon is the high priest with his assistants, and the overhead lighting adds to the mystery of the whole ceremony. Surgeons in this country may be appalled by such an anthropological analogy, for the danger of contamination of the surgical field is well known even to the layman. But for a pre-anesthetized patient lying on the table, or a patient going through surgery under local anesthetics, what seems to be everyday routine for doctors and nurses could very well be a rather insensitive and dehumanizing experience, accentuating his sense of helplessness at the surgeon's mercy and asserting the aloofness and near divine status of today's healers. We doctors have formed ourselves into an elite body, convinced of our exclusive authority to diagnose and cure, and proud of our control over others' lives. However, in some cases, patients' health expectations have gone far beyond the limited capacity of medical science. In others, the patient's subjective sense of health and disease shares no common ground with the doctor's scientific approach. As a result, we often treat for the sake of intellectual pursuit or the diagnostic challenge and not for the sake of the patient, supposedly the beneficiary of medical science. As illustrated by another memorable didactic session during which a pediatrician was trying to demonstrate the leukemic child's physical findings. The pediatrician, until that time, was a rather dull fellow, until suddenly he lit up with excitement when pointing out the lymphadenopathy and splenomegaly and trying to explain the pathophysiology behind those clinical features. At the end of the session, he declared, "The practice of medicine is boring. It is these interesting cases that make it bearable." He was the first of the many doctors I was to find out who, fascinated by the discovery of a rare carcinoma, have forgotten that a living, feeling human being is attached to it. Like a warmongering professional soldier of peacetime, yearning for some action on the battlefield with morbid obsession, we doctors often, whether subconsciously or consciously, seem to enjoy seeing pathology more than health. Disease can only be defined in the cultural context of the healer and the sick. What seems to be just over-worries, which is disease, over one's health in an underdeveloped country may be labeled as hypochondriasis, a disease, in an industrialized state. And what used to be large tonsils to be yanked from a child's throat are now to be removed from the textbook. The decision-making process in the practice of medicine is not like the experimental laboratory at all. It is fraught with the subjectivity of the values of both the doctor and the patient. We do not have to be anthropologists to look beyond the borders of mainstream civilizations into tribal societies for cross-cultural comparisons. Just look at the large economies of the world today. Whereas in the US, the double-blind randomized controlled trial, RCT, is regarded as the gold standard of research method. Such an approach, until recently, was not the modus operandi in countries like France, Germany, Japan, or China. In France, it was not uncommon for studies with small sample size to be conducted to confirm a theoretical model, with results then extrapolated to the rest of the larger population. Yet such a method would be totally unacceptable in RCTs, which require much larger sample sizes for the results to be statistically significant, regardless if the results fit into a tidy theoretical model. RCTs are also revered for decades in countries like Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Hong Kong, and India. What is that one thing in common of the countries that adopted the RCT? They had all been ruled by Britain at one point or another. As a matter of fact, RCT was first introduced by the UK Medical Research Council in the 1940s. In her 1988 book, Medicine and Culture, the US biochemist turned journalist Lynn Payer hypothesized that the French approach was really part of Cartesianism, named after the famous French philosopher Descartes, who once derived God's existence without actually seeing God. Through a series of philosophical arguments based on his famous line, cogito ergo sum, or in English, I think, therefore I am. While the RCT reflects the skeptical and empirical national character of the English people, who do not care about whether something should theoretically happen, but care more about whether something actually happens. The RCT invented by the British then spread to other countries through the English language. If RCT is so scientific, its adoption should be associated with better outcomes. Yet, there's no correlation between higher life expectancy and adoption of RCT. Furthermore, evidence-based medicine, which draws heavily on RCTs, is dominated by giant figures from Canada, the US, and the UK. The collusion among the English-speaking peoples in the so-called medical sciences is really quite astounding. I hope that I've not been accused of trying to de-establish the medical profession in the Western world. It would be most treacherous of me as practitioner of allopathic medicine to refute its effectiveness in many physical diseases, despite the iatrogenic diseases and problems it invents and produces. I'm trying to illustrate that medical science, meant to benefit mankind, could turn out to create more sufferings if blindly applied as a purely scientific discipline without a better understanding of its social implications, and to demonstrate the danger of taking for granted the universal validity of the clinical skills and reasoning inherited through our highly structured medical hierarchy. history, sociology, anthropology, and philosophy are but a few of the humanities and social sciences that bring a human touch to the practice of medicine. They teach us the importance of scientific progress, but present the danger of its indiscriminate use. They inspire us to follow the footsteps of medical pioneers, but also point out the limitation of our capacity. They show us how to seek comfort, but put us to shame in learning about the hardships endured by our predecessors. They urge us to demand for reasonable reforms, but at the same time appreciate the perils of radical changes. They teach us tradition, but encourage us to be unorthodox. In this way, they enable us to be a doctor and a scholar, maintaining the highest standards of professionalism and ethical behavior required for medical practice, and embracing those 5 Avalon core values: education, empathy, integrity, respect, and commitment. Dr. James Peter Warbass, US surgeon, wrote in The Book and the Public, published in 1935, "The saving of lives is not enough. The perfecting of lives should be the aim. Medicine, in the end, must be concerned for cultural values, the passion for wisdom, beauty, and justice. These are real expressions of health." All the Avalon graduates gathered here today should be proud of your achievements. You have come a long way, overcoming many academic, social, and financial burdens. There are still more challenges you will face in the days and years to come. But today, at least, you can put all these worries aside to celebrate your victory day. To quote or misquote Sir Winston Churchill in his Victory in Europe speech on 8th of May, 1945, "We may allow ourselves a brief period of rejoicing, but let us not forget for a moment the trials and efforts that lie ahead."
Thank you, Dr. Wong, for addressing our graduating class. We appreciate your commitment to be here today in support of Avalon. Thank you so much. At this time in our program, we would like to present an award. I'd like to call to the podium Mrs. Kunzal Khan.
Hello, everyone. This is the first year of awarding the Award of Excellence in the name of the late Abeda Rajpura. Abeda Rajpura is the sister of Avalon Chancellor Dr. Hippocratic Fateh. Mrs. Rajpura grew up in the small town of Keshapura, India, and soon after marriage moved to England. Being the eldest of 4 siblings, Abeda was the guiding force in her family to continually show a desire and passion for education, and always was giving back to the community. Once her family was established in England, she and her husband opened an all-girls school in her hometown of Keshapura, India, which is currently a sizable and well-established school that includes housing for students from her hometown and surrounding cities. She was the vice president of the school and would often travel back to the school to her great delight and speak to all of her students. Abeda's positive influence was felt by everyone that knew her, and she was always remembered as a strong lady that cared deeply about her family and showed just as much care for the people she knew. The Abeda Rajpura Award of Excellence is to recognize a graduating medical student whom the faculty determined to exhibit excellence. The criteria for excellence includes academic performance, clinical acumen, communication skills with patients, their families, their peers and faculty, as well as community service and contributions to the medical school. Here to present the award for excellence is Mrs. Rahana Fateh. This award for excellence is going to Dr. Quran Singh. Please come upstage.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Dr. Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the graduate address. Our graduate speaker for the class of 2022 is Dr. Quran Singh. Quran is a student who continuously excelled in every subject while working toward his Doctor of Medicine degree. During his basic sciences, he was recognized as being in the top 5% of his class. Quran is an extremely hardworking individual, which was often reflected in the feedback we received from those he interacted with. Dr. Singh has been motivated to give back to the medical community by guiding, coaching, and counseling medical students taking the USMLE exams. Quran has the passion and drive to become an outstanding physician while working at his internal medicine residency position at the University of South Alabama starting this July. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Quran Singh.
Well, hi everybody. That was a surprise. So my name is Quran Singh. Thanks for having me here. Thank you, Avalon. Thank you, faculty. Thank you, Board of Trustees. So I prepared a speech for everybody. Hopefully this motivates not just students, doctors, but also anyone out there. So basically, it is an honor to be speaking here on the commencement ceremony. I would just like to first congratulate everyone that came to the event. We welcome you. This is a big moment for all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean family, friends, parents, and relatives. Parents, I'd like to address you first. You are probably wondering where the years have gone. As you marvel at your sons' or daughters' accomplishments, it doesn't seem that long ago when these young adults we honored today were toddlings off to the start to kindergarten. To the graduates out there, being on this podium today and earning this degree, we bring both joy and promise to all of our lives, our family, friends, and relatives. Remember those times where we used to study relentless hours on the island, memorizing risk factors, pathophysiology, anatomy, histology, and of course biochemistry, which we'll really use. Thank God that's over. Going from a callow pre-med student now to a more experienced graduate who will face patients' problems head on, we all have learned the importance of putting our patient first. That's the whole principle of medicine. However, behind every white lab coat is 100 battles won and 1,000 battles lost. After arduous years of medical school, 5 years, but for some maybe more, the greatest gift we learned as graduates is the ability to not give up. Everyone that was involved in today's graduation, especially the graduates of Avalon University School of Medicine, have faced such battles. Some won, some lost, but in the end, everyone came out to be perseverant. One of my biggest battles faced early on in medical school was actually when I found out that my friends in their early 20s were actually having an income rather than me eating French fries and turning textbooks on the study desk. So the mental toll that medical school takes on a lot of students is surreal, and it began to consume me. There were times where I would doubt myself. Sometimes your own friends and even family members may begin to doubt you, but I learned to never give up. All the family gatherings we missed because of exams, all the financial hardships, and all the countless sacrifices that every doctor had to make to get to where they are today has paid off for all of you. All these years of hardships are traded in for today, a monumental day of success and delayed gratification. I remember when I opened up my match results on March 14th, I felt great. I felt like there was drugs running through my veins. But then 5 minutes later, I was back to normal. So what happened? I thought I was supposed to feel like that every day after getting what I worked for the last 8 years. But I guess happiness is temporary. But success, achievements, they last forever. So just 5 minutes of happiness and endorphins can sometimes be enough to kind of push you forward and give you a moment of success and relief. So I guess apart from this speech, I don't want to kind of bore you guys. So I just want to give some things that I learned in my journey to where I am today. The first thing is, don't be afraid to fail. I failed many times in my life. Even with the match, I failed. But I learned that failure, I'd rather fail than not fail, because the things that we learn from failures, they always push us forward. Second thing is never give up, which is the whole purpose of this speech. We all face battles. When I counsel students, when I was talking to many other students out there, everyone has a different journey, a different career path, but that doesn't mean that they don't meet in the end. Just because you take a different detour doesn't mean that you can't get to your final destination. And last thing is that have fun. Life's all about having fun. Unfortunately, I found that a little later. I sacrificed a lot of my early 20s or just early years of med school just studying. But just always have fun, and happiness is temporary, but success is forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Quran. Congratulations and all the best in your new position. You truly are an awesome doctor. The most awaited moment is here. Yes, it's now time we acknowledge the fruit of your hard work and discipline. You will now be receiving your prized degree, a symbol of your accomplishment. Let us now begin with the hooding of the graduates and the presentation of Doctor of Medicine degrees. The hooding of the graduates will be completed by Dr. Abdul Ghani, Dean of Postgraduate Training, and conferring of the degrees will be done by Dr. Samir Fateh, President of Avalon University. I would like to ask the graduating class to please follow the directions of the awesome staff and make your way to the stage. Guests, if you would like to take photos of your graduates, please use the aisle on the left-hand side. Please, no one should be in the middle aisle. Please be courteous so as not to block the other guests. Dr. Ghani. Diana Ati. Nadia Abdallah. She will be hooded by Dr. Ahmed Kiami. Saba Alizeri. Ramla Ali. Oluwatosin Alo, magna cum laude. Arham Aslam, magna cum laude. Lujane Atia, cum laude. Rostislav Bonarenko, cum laude. Congratulations, Russ. Lebnitz Charlus, cum laude. Rachel Cruz. Spiro Curis. Ryan DeCruz. Najna Malikzadeh Dilmajani. Amarachi A.K., cum laude. Ashley Izikepo, magna cum laude. Rathanya Govindaraju. Ahmad Habal. Medina Jansen, magna cum laude. Poonam Deep Kaur Judge. Shine Deep Kaur Judge. Cum laude. Hooded by Dr. Kiami. Aman Kalra, cum laude. Sabrina Kaur. Hooded by Dr. Nasser Khan, Omar Khan. Pema Sai Sarath Kumar. Yvette Monique Larry Sadler, cum laude. Maria Angelica Leewag. Hooded by Dr. Bilgan Bemdord is Inkma Luvsanam, summa cum laude. Agatha Benasso. Frank Musinga. Rohitha Nalam. Saruja Nanthakumaran. Kashmira Narayana Maharajan. Gayatri Narn. Incamdalum Waodo, magna cum laude. Stephanie Wolkaday. Trissa Paul. Sivakumar Pendiala. Opamipo Tanubu Raji. Akas Rana cum laude. Chetan Rao. Hooded by Dr. Kiyami. Adil Saeed. Manpreet Zaini. Farah Shah. Quran Singh, magna cum laude. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Sarabjot Singh Makar. Marjorie Tony, magna cum laude. Hooded by Dr. Kiami, Michael Patrick Valderrama. Marnus van Vieren. Pavan Vemula. And last but certainly not least, Harshani Yarlagada, cum laude. Love those smiling faces. Okay, graduates, you can now be seated. Actually, I'm sorry. Can you stand up again? I made a mistake. At this time, I'd like to ask our Dean of Clinical Sciences, Dr. Lanny Wilson, to lead our graduates in reciting of the Hippocratic Oath.
Good morning and congratulations. I had to clarify with Michelle. It says on my part, Hippocratic Oath and tassel exchange. You don't have to tassel your exchange or exchange your tassel. Just leave it right where it is. On the last page, for all of those in the audience and for our graduates, there's a copy of the Oath of Hippocrates. Dr. Fateh had talked about us as being a family of medicine here at Awesome. But by reciting the Hippocratic Oath, you really become the family of medicine for all times, throughout the world. This is an oath that is repeated by graduating classes. I did it 40 plus years ago. Hopefully your children will repeat it one day as you proudly repeat it with them. If all those in the audience would like to read along with us, I will give you a few words, a phrase, and then you'll repeat after me. So, ready to go? the Oath of Hippocrates. I do solemnly affirm, as did the ancient Greeks, by all that I hold most sacred, that according to my ability and judgment, I will keep this oath and its stipulations. I hold my teachers in this art are equal to my own parents and extend to them the respect and gratitude which is their due. I will by precept, lecture, and every other mode of instruction impart a knowledge of the art to my progeny and those of my teachers, and to disciples bound by covenant and oath according to the law of medicine. I will follow that system of treatment which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous. Doing a great job. We're halfway there. I will exercise my art solely for cure of my patients and the prevention of disease, and will give no drugs and perform no operations for a criminal purpose, nor for less suggest such a thing. Should have been far less, sorry about that, nor far less, but that was my fault. Nor far less suggest such a thing. With honor and dignity, I will practice my profession, not permitting consideration of religion, nationality, race, or social standing to intervene between duty and my patient. Into whatsoever houses I enter, I will go for the benefit of the sick and will hold myself aloof from every voluntary act of wrongdoing or corruption. Whatever I may see or hear in the lives of others, which ought not to be spoken abroad, I will not divulge, reckoning that such should be kept secret. Finally, while I continue to keep this oath unviolated, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art respected by all people in all times. But should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. Well done.
Now you may be seated. Before I address the graduates in closing remarks, I'd just like to take a moment to thank those of you who are so important to the success of this event. First and foremost, to you, our newest graduates, this day wouldn't be possible without your hard work and commitment and dedication. I would also like to thank the core team at Avalon University. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you to everyone. Also, thank you to our island faculty and administrative support staff. The remarkable support provided to these students has been instrumental in their successes. Thank you to the staff at Stambaugh Auditorium. Thank you to Terry for providing photography services. And finally, to all the preceptors and coordinators of Avalon University who work so hard with our students during rotations. You continually give back to education and are crucial to the success of our students. So, today is the culmination of what I'm sure has been a challenging and hopefully also a rewarding experience. You'll be feeling a great range of emotions, relief that you've made it, pride in your abilities, a sense of reward in the recognition of your qualification, and perhaps also a sense of excitement and expectation as you think ahead to the next leg of your journey and what adventures and opportunities that will bring. But stop and reflect for just one moment. Think back about all that you have been through to arrive at this very moment. Keep in mind that one day you will have the power to make a difference. Use it well. This day signifies a new beginning for each and every one of you. But never stop learning, never stop asking questions, and never forget that medicine is an art as well as a science practiced by doctors and researchers who bring to the bedside and to the bench not only technology and training, but also their humanity, caring, and concern. In addition to earning the degrees conferred upon you today, you have earned the right to be associated with an elite group of people. Today you hold something that few people are privileged to sign behind their names, the letters MD. So this is your moment to take it all in. As you immerse yourself in this experience, as you take in the final moments of this graduation ceremony, give a thought to what is to come. Stay humble and stay strong. Work hard and appreciate all you've got. After all, there's plenty of people who would give anything to be in your shoes. Tomorrow, new challenges and opportunities await you that will test you to improve yourselves as individuals. As you walk out together, take pride in what you're walking away from, a job well done. As you continue on this journey, may you look back to this stage in your life with fondness and pride. Enjoy your day of celebration with your family and friends. On behalf of everyone at Avalon University, congratulations, graduates. We are all so proud of you. You worked hard, you succeeded, and now you should celebrate. So graduates, please stand for the recessional. The staff will guide you out to the photographer for photos. After the photo, you'll return to this auditorium where you can take photos with your family and friends. If you don't wish to take any photos, then you can enjoy the luncheon that's provided in the ballroom where you got dressed. To the guests, please remain seated until the recessional is complete. Family and friends, please remain in the auditorium while the class photo is being taken. Because of time restraints, family is not permitted to be in the vicinity where the large group photo will be taken. If you stay in here, that way when they come back, it'll be quick and we can get those family photos taken. Then you can make your way down to have luncheon in the ballroom. Thank you, everyone. The recessional will please proceed.